what is something in the agile world that should have been more popular than it was or is?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I have to say what pops in mind immediately. Obviously, we talk about continuous integration, and I feel like now this is something that is picking up a lot, and it is like there is might be just not many successful companies that didn't know about it. It might even go in the wrong direction with DevOps and making just separate departments for the whole continuous integration, and don't understand this as a mindset as we want them to, as a change that every developer needs to understand. But I think that's very, very crucial. I would want it to be more visible. I think the whole extreme programming practices should have been much more popular than just the Scrum framework. I wish people will dig more deeply into extreme programming, learn more about those practices, and apply them in addition to Scrum. And one thing that influenced me most, or from all the things, and I'm a huge fan of Goiko, the things that he brought, specification by example, and impact mapping, and all the stuff. Um, and in addition to that, one thing that I've learned about from actually from a reference in a book note in one of the last books was skill facilitator, the concept of how to basically work with teams and create mindset in the team that helps people to work together versus against each other. And that's something that I still think is not very visible or popular. And I would love, I mean, it's quite similar to a nonviolent communication, and this is quite well known. But it's even more concrete, I would say, and more practical, has also some principles in the back. And I would encourage a lot of people just to look at Skill Facilitated and learn from that. I've had a chance to go to a course with Roger Schwartz for 5 days, and it had a huge impact on me. Yeah, I would also like for people learn more about that.
Brilliant. What a tip. What a brilliant tip. I think if I wish that would be that could I wish it had been more popular. And so the next question was what do you think is going to be the next big thing? I would wish that facilitation, like group facilitation and a better understanding of team coaching became the next big things. Because
Yeah,
if we can help people talk to each other more conducively, have better conversations and build better relationships, everything else will begin to solve itself as long as we've all got an aligned purpose. And I think that those facilitation skills are absolutely critical. And yeah, just ignored or not researched enough or dismissed. I think that you're right.
yeah, yeah,
I'm fully behind you on that one. I will put links to
yeah.
the Roger Schwartz book and his courses if he's still doing them. I'll put those in the notes. And if you have a little facilitation tidbits, I'll chuck those in the notes as well.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah, absolutely. And I think it's yeah. I mean, and there's always two parts of it. It's like the skills that you have to have when doing group facilitation, when doing team facilitation, and making sure that everyone is involved and so on. But also, again, it's the coaching part, as you said. Yeah, is think about the mindset that people are living and are putting you know putting with, and how they see this conversation. As is it something that they have discussion or dialogue, you know. So like, is it and he likes to differentiate between two mindset. Roger Schwartz does, like the unilateral control mindset, where you basically, it's like you playing chess, or you do you are either are right or you are wrong. You have some information and the other has missing information, so that's why you know better than the other, which doesn't really help for having, you know, a great team and yeah, good atmosphere. um, and the other mindset is the mutual learning mindset, where you basically, there is your experiences and your views and the other person's experience and views, and you can both learn from that. You can intersect them and basically see what's the best next step, what you can do with both of these experiences and learnings. And there is no right or wrong per se, and there is no game of chess. It's more like you play puzzle. And to see and to change this mindset in a team is mind blowing. So I've experienced this a couple of times, introduced it with all the teams that I'm working with, and to see basically then how this can change, and suddenly they you know, they have more dialogue than a discussion in their meetings and events. It's really cool, and I think, as you said, that might be the next big thing in terms of how to get people, yeah, more closer to each other, and change cultures in organizations.
Insightful. Yeah, thought provoking. I really hope it is the next big thing. It reminds me, Barsvod has said something which I don't think I've heard him say before, or at least I didn't remember him saying before when I interviewed him recently. He said, Scrum is a framework for creating great teams. And I think that you can't create a great team unless you've got some skilled facilitation
Yeah,
and some understanding of team
yeah,
coaching. I think that I,
absolutely.
yeah, I can't see, unless it magically happens by default. You know, I don't see how skill facilitation and a bit of skillful team coaching isn't going to help to amplify the effects of the brilliant framework that is Scrum and less. So, Robert, thank you very much for that. Yeah, I want to go and dig out my book and look through the skill facilitator again. It's been years since I looked at it, so you've given me a bit of a kick at the bum there to go and read it again.